were times where, I don't know if you call it lonely, but you are alone. Like, no matter how even if your husband is there or anybody's there, it's a disease where you are alone because you deal with it your own way, and then you have to work that out and work it through with yourself first. Carol Bolio, Indigenous, Oma Daya, Manitoba, Portage La Prairie, Manitoba, Jinikade. My name is Carol Bolio, and I live in Portage La Prairie, Manitoba. I'm 49 years old, and I was diagnosed with breast cancer about 7 years ago, and no longer have it. Thank goodness. That's about it. I don't know what else to say. I was laying down one day in bed, and you know how your breast gets bigger when you're pregnant, and I felt a lump on the inside of my left breast. That was probably around November. I had gotten pregnant in September, and I went in for a diagnosis, and they finally diagnosed me in February. So I was pregnant and had breast cancer at the same time. I think my first thought was, what a cruel joke. You know, it's my first child, and here I have this disease. And I just thought, well, how can this be? And I also took care of myself, I thought, over the years. Like, I didn't smoke, I wasn't a big drinker. I always participated in sports and tried to eat well, although I may not look it right now. I'm a little bit on the heavy side, but, you know, and then I thought, well, why is this, you know? But then after a couple of days, I thought, well, what the heck, why not me, right? It can happen to anybody. So, but now when I think about it, I guess maybe it was something really, it just really challenged me. And I always thought I was a strong person, but I just basically got stronger, I think, you know, with all that happening in my life. The doctors wanted me to do chemo while I was pregnant, and I absolutely said no. I just wasn't prepared to. Being this was the only child I probably will ever have, I wasn't prepared to do that. So I said, as soon as I have the baby, I said, you can stick me into the machine there and I'll do it. But I said no. So I had a lumpectomy while I was pregnant. I think I was about 4 or 5 months pregnant during that process. And then they induced him early, so he was born at 8 months. And we stayed in the hospital for 4 days, and then the week after I started chemo. So it was immediately after he was born. So I went through the chemo, finished that, and then went through radiation as well. That took about 6 months or so altogether. So all during his first 8 months of his life, I was sort of out of it with chemo and radiation and all that. Interestingly, I lost a lot of friends during this process. They ran away or something, I'm not quite sure. I had one in particular, we've been friends for, I don't know, 14 years, and she just walked away. She couldn't handle the fact that I may be dying. So, and it's never been the same since. Like, I still talk to her, but it's just never been. You almost truly find out who your friends really are. I'm not quite sure why. I guess it's the fear, you know, when you realize that somebody's going to die or you think they're going to die. So it was an interesting time for me in that way. And there were a few individuals who came back a couple of years later and said, well, are you okay now? Now I can talk to you because you're still alive. And I thought, that's weird, but that's the way people are, I guess. I knew it was going to happen because they told me when I took that particular chemo. And I said, okay, well, you know, and then it started falling out in chunks. And and then I went to my hairdresser and I told her, I said, just cut it off because otherwise I'm going to have these big chunks of hair all over. And I didn't find it too difficult. And I didn't like wigs, so I never wore a wig. It was always a hat or just go bald. Like, I was okay with going around like that. And I actually had some cute incidences. One, I used to wear a baseball cap. I pulled up to this red light one time. I pulled up to this red light one time, and I had my baseball cap on, my sunglasses. And I looked over, and there's this young lady smiling at me. think she thought I was a man. So I smiled at her, and then I realized, oh, she's giving me that kind of smile. So I thought that was kind of cute. Those kind of things. That happened to me a couple times. So I guess, well, maybe I might have been a good-looking man if if I'd have been a man. So that's what but overall the hair loss was okay. And my hair came back the same way it ever was. During this process, I also used my traditional medicine. I combined the two because I wasn't gonna die no matter what. So I used Western medicine and I used traditional medicine as well, just to make the fight better. I went to see a person who knows about this type of medicine. So I asked her, and she gave me some medicine, and you make it into a tea, and you drink that all the time for as long as you feel you need to. And it's more of and it's also the faith that you have and the belief that you have, that you believe in that medicine, plus you believe in yourself and that you're going to survive this. So it's sort of like a tool to help you engage in your own fight against whatever it is that's making you ill. So, like even the word itself in my language is Ojibwe. It's Manitushuapine, which means worms in your body. And we know cancer is not really worms in your body, but that's how it has been translated. So it's to get rid of those bad cells, basically, and that's what this medicine is for. And even amongst First Nation people, you don't want to talk about it, because it's that, for us, for First Nation people, a lot of times a lot of people feel it has to do with it's called Onjinewin. It's like karma. It's like if you do bad things, then it's going to come back to you somewhere down the road. Cancer is one of those stigmas that go with that, is that you did something horrible or your family did something horrible, so you're about to pay. So sometimes First Nation families will stay away from each other and they don't talk to you because you've been affected by that. So there's still that mysticism that is out there. I've always thought I'm a strong person, but it really made me focus on who I really was and what I wanted to do after, and with my son now. His name is Hayden, by the way, and how my life would change with him, because I knew he would probably be my only child, and it's true. I've since had a hysterectomy, and so I can't have any more children of my own. So that's what I thought I'd focus on. And that's what it's changed my life in that way. And to be less selfish and to really look at things, in a big way and how it's going to affect others, and just try to be a good person, and live a good life and treat everybody well. I think I do that a little bit better now than I did before. So that's what changed for me.